All right, here we go. We got a first down run from Tyrone Tracy. To go. See if I can get some audio. All right, here we go. Another run. Tracy getting about 4 yards now. Getting some crazy pop-ups. Let's see. So here we go, 2nd and 6. Jackson Dart has the ball. Short throw to Wandale Robinson, who breaks a tackle and picks up about 3.5, 4 yards. So the Giants are at the 43. They are missing Andrew Thomas. They're missing JMS. They are missing, I think Runyon is back. But they are missing, let's see. They said they're without 3 starters, so I'm not sure who's missing. Anyway, 3rd and 3 on the Giants' 43.5 yard line. And we get a false start from Jermaine Illuminor. This is the tankathon. This is the game that we all want to try to lock in that top pick. And that's something I noticed from Illuminor. He's been getting that Lane Johnson false start. He kind of moved exactly when the ball got snapped, which is funny. Third and 8 coming up. So 3rd and 8 instead of a 3rd and 3. New York Giants football at its finest. Jackson Dart hitting a wide open Wandale Robinson for a first down. This team is not very good. His team is not very good at all. So 17 yards on 3rd and 8 for the Giants. The Raiders cornerbacks literally ran into each other. So here we go. Another handoff, play action actually. Jackson Dart escaping the rush, and he falls down. And that's one thing that's different is Jackson Dart used to escape up the pocket. Right there, he kind of tried to do some Mahomes running backwards stuff and just slipped, lost his balance. So he literally lost about 10 yards there. That's the easiest sack that 97 for the Raiders is ever going to get. So 2nd and 24 coming up for the Giants. Empty set for Jackson Dart. 5 wide. He's got decent protection. Hitting Gunnar Olszewski. Actually, Daniel Bellinger across the middle, who got, hit pretty hard as soon as he touched the ball. They're lucky they didn't call that a targeting penalty. Let's see. Dart threw a dart to Daniel Bellinger, and he immediately got hit. Clean hit. Right to the chest. Right to the chest, and nice hit by that Raiders defender. They're turned up. 3rd and 24 coming up. So after that miscue from Dart running backwards, the Giants are crazy behind. And now we got another flag, and it looks like it was Illuminor again. So it's looking like they're having issues with the snap count because Illuminor looks kind of frustrated, like he was expecting something else. And he's not like playing against a guy that is like crazy good. So it's, I'm not sure why he's so worried about that. So now I think we're in 3rd and 29. The Giants are doing their best to lock in that first overall pick. Dart's got time. He's checking it down to Tracy or Singletary, and he's going to get about 7, and the Giants will punt. So after a couple of first downs, the Giants will punt on their first drive. Giants are off to a good start tanking wise. Listen, I'm scared to root for the tank. I'm scared to root for the tank because the moment I start rooting for the tank is when they'll start winning. So I try not to get into it. And we got Alex Bachman at punt returner for the Raiders. He's going to field this at the 15 and go down immediately. Let's pull this down a bit. All right, let's see. So we're a commercial break. The Giants started off with a decent start to the drive. Jackson Dart tries to pull some magic, extending the play, slipped over himself, ended up being a 2nd and 24. I think we got an incomplete pass when he hit Bellinger, and he just got hit really hard. Bellinger did, couldn't hang on to the ball. Nice throw from Dart though, and then there's 3rd and 24. Jermaine Illuminor. My mic is muted. I'm mad. I had like 10 people in here earlier and they were just watching me talk. No, thank y'all for telling me my mic is muted. Thank you for telling me my mic is muted because, again, I had a lot of people in here and they decided not to tell me. But what I was saying is if the Giants lose this game, they clinch the #1 overall pick. That is crazy. I've been on here muted for like the last how much how long? And people just coming in here looking at me and not saying nothing. That's crazy. But yeah, appreciate that. So we got the Raiders coming out. Geno Smith, the former Giant, of course, coming out of the huddle, having another horrible season after bouncing back. But we got to hand off to Genty, and he's going to lose 1.5 yards. I can already tell what type of game this is going to be. Who do we want in the? I want Downs. I want to trade back and get Downs. That's the #1 player I want. People keep on trying to sell me on Tate or Tyson, or I really want Downs on this team. So 2nd and 12 here. Geno Smith under center. He's dropping back. He's under pressure. He's taking a shot downfield, and it's caught, but it's out of bounds. Dante Thornton Jr. couldn't get his feet down. I think that was Deontay Banks in coverage who played it horribly and at least forced him out of bounds, but didn't do a good job right there. Almost got his feet down, too. I don't know how that – he should have got his feet down there. So here we go, 3rd and 12. Geno Smith checking it down to Mayer, who's going to be about a half-yard short of a first down, and the Raiders will most likely punt this deep in their own territory. And if I'm the Raiders, like, just go for it. Like, at this point in the season, what do you have to lose but the first overall pick? So the Raiders will punt it back to us. I just can't see us losing this game. I can't see us losing this game. So Pete Carroll was challenging the spot for now, but it was clearly short. Mayer hit the ground, but it was about a half yard short. Hopefully they turn, because listen, like I said, I'm not ready to root for losing, but at the same time I am. Like at the same time I am ready to just root for us to lose, but I just don't want to get my hopes up. Like I don't want to get my hopes up because we always find a way to mess this up at the end of the season. Um, I like Downs. I'm not as concerned about the speed. I think he's fine there. I don't think he has crazy speed like Ed Reed. They literally have been saying this guy is Ed Reed mixed with Troy Polamalu, and I'm like that's crazy. He's not that, but I think he has enough speed. Yeah, I would love to get Caleb Downs here. First off, he's a short tackler, takes good angles. Um, I just love everything about that dude. Of course, you want him to be a little bit faster, but I also want him to be a little bit heavier with how he plays the game. But you can't teach the type of presence he brings to the field. Also, LSU Tiger AJ Halsey is another guy that I will be excited to have here at safety. Another guy that's a short tackler that takes good angles that can really make an impact. Give me a second, guys. I'm kind of stuffed up here. All right, so I'm glad we're in a situation where we can clinch the first overall pick with this game. That means I can root for us against Dallas next week. I would love to win this game. I mean, to lose this game and then beat Dallas next week. Yeah, but I mostly like Newman as a deep center fielder, to be honest with you. And he just was horrible there. So the play stands. The Raiders are going to kick this off or punt it to Gunner, who's going to field this and step out of bounds after about 5.5 yards. I think honestly, I haven't been a big fan of. I just don't think I don't think he's able to handle the NFL. Like as far as being able to see things in front of him and make plays, I just don't. I could see him possibly being a good safety in the box of like a guy that doesn't have to cover a bunch of space that can just like kind of go forward. But him as a deep safety last year was a disaster, and then this year I think it was. I'm starting to think Shane Bowen just really had this guy confused. But I also want to take a look at Nubin's last however many games because the defense has been a little bit more solid, so maybe Nubin's been playing a little bit more sound. I haven't paid as much attention to him lately. So there we go. Jackson Dart in the shotgun. Wandale across the formation. Handoff to Tracy, who's going to get a quarter of a yard, pretty much nothing. So they're calling it out. They're calling it out. So the Giants officially would have the number one pick if they lose today. So shotgun here. 2 wide receivers or 3. Dart throwing it short to Wandale, who's trying to fight forward, and we're going to be about 3.5 yards short. So another 3rd and 3. Let's see if Illuminor can give us another false start. Oh, they actually gave him backwards progress after he reached again. So 3rd and 5 coming up. You like the O-lineman from Utah or Miami? Yeah, I'd love Francis from Miami, especially at one of the guard spots. I'd love to get one of those guys in here. 3rd and 5, and throws it up to Wandell, and he just can't hold on to it. Made a great catch, but as soon as he hit the ground, the ball popped out. So the Giants will punt. Listen, I'm scared to root for the loss, so I'm going to just call this normally, but this is nerve-wracking because both of these teams are just finding ways to beat themselves. So that was a great catch, great almost catch from Wandell, but just couldn't hold on once he hit the ground. Got to tuck it in. And that was a really high pass from Jackson Dart. And the thing is, if Dart could just have like a regular Jackson Dart game today, we would blow the Raiders out. But it just seems like, at least with Kafka, he's cooked. Here we go. Alex Bachman, a former Giant, trying to make something happen on this punt return game, and he's going to bring it back to the 23.5. And he's out of there. So Raiders offense coming back out. We'll see what happens next. But yeah, if I had to tell you who's on my board of who I'm looking at, it would be Caleb Downs. It would be Tate. Tyson concerns me because of the injuries. But those two players are up there. That's kind of where I'm looking. I want one of those two players, to be honest with you. I would love to get Mansour Delane from LSU to corner. I think he could help us a lot. But as far as where I'm looking, a lot of people like Arvell Reese. I'm just not sold that he's a linebacker in the NFL. I see him as an edge player. I'm just not sold that he has the athleticism to be as good at off-ball linebacker in the NFL as he is in college. I do like Sonny Styles, but it depends where we trade down to. If we get that pick in the 20s or even in the teens, I would explore a guy like Sonny Styles. Tennessee corner last year. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of options, especially when you trade down, especially if it's the Jets, because they have 1 million picks. And they have multiple first-round picks in the 20s. And they also have that pick late in the in the top 10. If we trade down, okay. So I haven't missed anything. But, yeah, those are the guys I'm looking at. And I'm not sure how this will work, if we'll get the second overall pick, because if Dante Moore and Mendoza come out, if Moore comes out with Mendoza, then there still could be an opportunity for us to trade back, because if the Raiders get the first pick, they're not trading out of it, unless they just don't like this quarterback class, which is really possible. But I don't see the Raiders trading out of that first pick, and if there's Dante Moore there and teams love him, then I could see us very well trading out of number 2 if we can get that, and moving on from there. So there's still an opportunity to get a haul, but I would here we go, Geno Smith to Michael Mayer again for a quick first down. Holland in coverage there. Carricade in there too. Brock Bowers gets all the targets in the world, and Michael Mayer is a good player. Just got replaced by just a generational tight end. But him one-on-one, that was actually Bobby Okereke in coverage, man coverage with him. Is difficult, him one-on-one with a linebacker. Hand off to Genty. Genty's cutting back, and he's going to get about 1.5 yards and nothing else. And that's Raheem Lane that made that tackle. That's a guy I would have wanted to see a lot earlier on in the season, but it is what it is there. So Genty is one of a few rookies that has 5 touchdowns receiving and rushing in his rookie season. So, I mean, from my perspective, he hasn't done much this year, but I'm guessing he's had a pretty good rookie season. So they're in the gun again. Geno throwing it to... That's the best tackle. That's the best play I've seen Deonte Banks make in a while. So he just threw it out. He threw a quick out to a wide receiver. I think that's... Yeah, not sure who that is, but he threw a quick out, and Deonte Banks immediately tackled him there for about a 4-yard gain. So 3rd and 3 there. 5 targets there for Geno Smith, throwing it short, and right around midfield, Genty is going to be a yard short. So I'm assuming the Raiders will continue to keep him on the field. Let me turn down my gain a bit. You all let me know if you can hear me. All right, testing. Yeah, just turn my gain down just a bit. All right, here we go. So 6 seconds on the play clock, 4th and 1 for the Raiders. And they're handing it off to Genty. Genty makes a man miss and picks up 5, his biggest run in the game today for the Raiders. So the Raiders are officially in Giants territory, and we can maybe start to kind of believe that the Giants may be able to tank right. Because as bad as we've been all these years, we have not been able to get the first pick. We can't even be bad properly. So here we go, play action, Geno Smith. Geno's trying to make a guy miss, and he's going to go down. And they are going to give Brian Burns a sack. So that's sack number 16 for Brian Burns. Okay, they're not going to give him the sack. Okay. So Brian Burns is not going to get credit for that sack, but Geno Smith basically just threw it into the dirt. But Brian Burns had him dead to rights. So Geno Smith with a good move to get rid of the ball and not lose that 7 yards, 8 yards there. So 2nd and 10 here. Quick handoff to Tucker here, and he gets 3.5 there. So not much space there for the Raiders. You got a 3rd down coming up now. It's going to be a 3rd and 7, I think, coming up. 3rd and 5, they're going to call it. Looks like man coverage across the board. Actually, zone. Geno Smith has a guy wide open, and that's Tucker. And that's an easy 1st down conversion on 3rd and 5 from the Raiders. Big play there from the Raiders. And they're in the red zone. Inside the 15, Trey Tucker. Don't jinx it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep rooting. I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep rooting for us. So Trey Tucker, 3 targets today, 3 catches, 36 yards. Giants sending a blitz here. Genty making a man miss, making another guy miss, and he picks up 3. The thing is, even if I was rooting for the Giants to lose, if I see them do something stupid, it's gonna make me mad still. I'm still gonna be upset that they did something crazy. So the Raiders' interim offensive coordinator is Greg Olsen, not the tight end. I think he was an offensive coordinator for the Bears or something a while ago. Anyway, 2nd and 7 coming up. Geno Smith at the 12-yard line. Geno is under pressure, and he just threw an interception to Bobby Okereke. Okereke down the field. Okereke cutting back. Okereke, oh my God. Geno Smith, oh my God. Geno Smith stinks. Geno Smith stinks. So 43 yards on the return from Bobby Okereke. So all of a sudden, Bobby Okereke can cover. All of a sudden, Bobby Okereke can cover. like this is what the Giants do. They get incredible defensive plays, and guys are like, come on now. This was 6 weeks ago. Okereke would be. Oh my God. Anyway, the Giants are going to start off at the 40-yard line of the Raiders. So we'll see. Probably around midfield. And we'll see what they do with it. Said I got to be happy. All right. I got to reset. Okay. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go, Bobby. Bobby Okereke came through with the pick. Brought us back to midfield. Dart coming back out there. Let's see if we can finally put together a drive. Let's see if we can finally get together a drive right here. Giants have been able to run the ball pretty well. And I'm staying like this. Let's go. Let's get a win. Let's get a win. Yeah, I would never start Jackson Dart since he's been back. Yes, I started Jackson Dart for a couple of weeks, and he was giving me good points. I started Dart and Scatterboot for a couple of weeks, and they were giving me a good amount of points. But since he's been back from that injury and Kafka has been out there, he's like completely handcuffed Jackson Dart. All right. Not for a while. Last time I didn't even play high school football. So last time I played football was middle school. I played basketball in high school. So the Giants are going to start off at the Raiders 43. Bobby Okereke used to lead the league in tackles, and he's kind of fallen off. So here we go. 3 wide receivers here. Back in the gun. 2 wide receivers bunch left, 1 to the right. Slayton at the top of the screen. Hand off to Singletary. Singletary breaking the tackle. Singletary picking up 4. So decent run there from Singletary. After flipping the field, I mean, the Raiders were right at the 12-yard line, and Geno Smith threw the ball away. 2nd and 6 coming up here. 5 wide. Jackson Dart back there by himself. Raiders got 1 safety deep. Jackson Dart hitting Wandale and picking up a first down there. I wonder if they're going to give him that first or if they're going to try to say he was short. Looked like it was first. Looked like a first. All right. So they're going to give it to Wandale there. I don't know what's going on with Jackson Dart, and his ball placement lately has just been bad. Like, all of a sudden, his placement is just so bad. But Wandale was running an out route, had to turn back around to catch it. But, yeah, I'm concerned about that ball placement recently. Play action, Jackson Dart. Throwing it short to Singletary. Singletary making the guy miss, and he can't get away from him. And we're going to get about 3.5 right there. They might give us 4. So there you go. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Giants. So 2nd and 6 coming up. Singletary still back there. Pitch to Singletary. Singletary getting upfield. Singletary across the 20. Singletary is destroying the Raiders up the middle. Oh, my God. Singletary down at the 1. That's the best run I've seen from Devin Singletary since he's been a Giant. The guy literally cut back 3 times. So Marcus Bowe pulled out, cleared that lane out for him, and Singletary had one guy to beat, made him miss, made another guy miss, cut back to the middle of the field, put a guy on his butt, and down at the 1 yard line. And they keep calling him Mbo. Just look it up. His name is Marcus Bowe. You're an announcer. Like, they give you the pronunciation for everybody's names. Here we go. Singletary trying to finish it off, and he's going to be a half yard short, but they're going to call it a touchdown. And they're going to review this, and this is going to be a yard short, half yard short. But way to answer, the Giants came right down the field here. Basically all Singletary, but let's see. Let's see if they're going to call that a touchdown. And that's clearly a touchdown. So the Giants are going to go up 7-0. Yeah, that was a really nice block by Marcus Bowe. He cleared out the whole left side of the line. And it makes you think, like, do we want this guy playing guard for us? But he is playing against bums. He is playing against the Raiders' backup edge players and guys that just aren't that good. So Ben Sauls kicks that through, and so far so good. He hasn't missed anything. Yeah, I mean, you said why move him inside? My thing is, I don't think that you want to mess with Illuminor. I don't think you want to mess with Illuminor because he's been so good at right tackle, and obviously you're not going to move Andrew Thomas. But I kind of want to see Bo get on the field because he's looked really good. Like, he's looked good at left tackle. He's looked good at right tackle. So, of course, have him be your first option, but maybe having a good swing tackle is very underrated. So I could definitely see that, and maybe you don't want him as your starter because you want to keep the continuity in the inside. So yeah, it's a lot. I would think about it. Because, like, is he good enough to where you saying you want to put this guy on the field and you want him to, like, be out there every snap next to a guy like Andrew Thomas or next to an Illuminor? Or do you say, you let Illuminor walk and let Bo step in and take that risk? Or, like you said, you just leave him in that swing tackle, go out and get a guard, and he's your swing tackle for the next 3 years. But then you got to pay him. So, maybe Illuminor retires and then he steps in and he's a tackle after 3 years. But that doesn't happen that often. That's true. That's true. That's true, too, is that, it's likely that probably one of your tackles, if not both, are going to get hurt, especially if you're the Giants. One of those guys are probably going to get hurt, so you probably will see him play every year. So that's true. And, if Illuminor gets like a 4-year deal or a 3-year deal, and, you get through to year 3, and he's not playing as well as he was, then you can put in both. He'd still be on a rookie deal. He'd get a year maybe. And then, I'm really thinking about that because Bo's not a first-round pick, so there's no 5th-year option. So he would start off, if we gave Illuminor a 3-year deal, then they will both be expiring at the same time. So that would be your chance to bring back Bo, but with very little starting experience. Or maybe you just say he's played in spots over these last couple of years, and we like him enough to say that we're going to just pay him, and he's going to be our offensive tackle, our right tackle going forward. So the Giants capitalized on Bobby Okereke and on the Bobby Okereke interception, and the Raiders are going to have to try to respond. And they are responding quickly with a nice return there as they are across the 40 on the kickoff. So Geno Smith coming back out after a nice drive from him and the Raiders to see if he can try to put some points on the board. So Seattle was 13-3. They clinched the playoff berth. 11-4. The Bears are. Eagles are 10-5. So here we go. Genty in the backfield. Man in motion, handoff to Genty. Genty makes a guy miss, and he's going to lose a half a yard. The Raiders' offensive line is not very good. Not very good at all. The Giants are playing Ashton Genty like he is like he's an MVP. Like he's Saquon Barkley. I'll tell you one thing, Charlie Bullen has this defense playing a lot more cohesive, a lot more functional, sound football. Abdul Carter lined up over the center here. And Dexter Lawrence with the neutral zone infraction. We're going to lose 5 yards there. Or they're going to move forward 5. And that's Dexter Lawrence. So the Raiders are going to get a free 5 yards. Dex a little bit too antsy right there on that play. The Giants already with like 3 or 4 penalties. So a 2nd and 5 coming up. Geno in the backfield. Genty beside him. Short throw to Mayer. Mayer turns back inside, and Okereke with another great tackle. Okereke having a game today. Okereke playing like it's his last game. He playing this game like it's his last game ever. So 3rd and 5 coming up here. 13:22 left in the second quarter. 3rd and 5. Raiders at the Raiders 46. Giants jumped a little bit. Geno Smith hits Ashton Genty out of the backfield, puts it behind him, or Genty would still be running right now. But they flooded that zone that Deonte Banks was in his cover 2, and just had Genty wide open. Really a nice play call. Not really Deonte Banks' fault because he had to pick where he will be covering. He had 2 guys in the area. So that's a easy first down conversion from the Raiders. Short throw to Mayer. Mayer making a guy miss. Mayer running over 2 other people and picks up 4 yards after all of that shenanigans. I'll tell you one thing, the Raiders offense, they love feeding the tight end. They love feeding Brock Bowers and now Michael Mayer. They probably are their 2 best receivers. Probably are your 2 best options throwing the ball. Which is why Genty has 5 receiving touchdowns. So Geno back under center, 2nd and 6. Giants keying in on the run. Genty squeezing up the middle there and picking up 8. And now we got a flag down. So this is probably coming back. Okay, so hands to the face. Hands to the face on the defense, right? Roy Robinson Harris, hands to the face is going to add 5 yards to that Genty run. So 1st and 10 coming up. Yep. 1st and 10 coming up, and they will be at the, 30? They'll be at the 30-something. They're at the 26, actually. So another man in motion here for the Raiders. Another handoff to Genty. Genty's trying to get to the edge, and Drew Phillips with a nice tackle in the backfield. Did not let him get the edge. And Deonte Banks, oh my gosh, this guy actually set the edge. Deonte Banks, no, he didn't set the edge. Never mind. Just a good play by Andrew Phillips. Deonte Banks couldn't set an edge to save his life.
Another short throw to Tyler Lockett. This guy's still in the league. Wow. Another short throw to Tyler Lockett, and he gets about 4 yards there. So 3rd and 6 coming up for the Raiders. So 3rd and 6 coming up. You have, let's see, 3 wide receivers and a tight end, Michael Mayer, and the kind of tight slot, Geno Smith, under pressure. He is going to go down by everybody. Sacked him there. Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, everybody who was in on that sack. And the Raiders are going to probably be kicking a field goal now. So let's see. Dex collapsed the pocket. He got the one-on-one. I mean, nobody blocked right there. Everybody got bull rushed into the pocket. And Darius Alexander had a shot at him. Literally everybody sacked him on that play. Yeah, Muasau is horrible. It's horrible. Yeah, I mean, defensive coordinator matters. I thought that Banks was okay, so the Raiders make that field goal. That makes it 7-3, so the Raiders are down by 4. Yeah, I think really what happened is that I think the defensive coordinator couldn't get the best out of him, couldn't motivate him, or Jerome Henderson was a good coach and they fired him. They scapegoated him. But I don't know what's going on with Deonte Banks. I don't know how he became so bad of a player. I just don't get it. I just don't get it there. But yeah, I mean, I think that they're pretty much done with Banks. I mean, of course, they're going to watch him this game. They're going to watch him next game. And whoever comes in here at head coach is going to decide, can they win with that dude? Can he play? Can he be redeemed? Seems like Joe Shane is coming back regardless. So, whatever. But since Shane is coming back, I won't be surprised if Deonte Banks is back and we don't address corner. Yeah, Banks has been good at kick return for sure. And the thing is, Bowen played a lot of man coverage, but he didn't play press man. And Banks, he doesn't have a good feel for off coverage at all. So I want to look at Tankathon here while we're at it, because Tankathon has us at 2-13. So it is. Let's see. The Giants are 2-13. Raiders are 2-13. Jets are 3-13. Tennessee's 3-13. Arizona's 3-13. So you got 5 teams at 3-13. It's possible for the Giants to win 2 more games, so that will put them at 4-13. That's possible. So if that happens, then they could very well be picking at 8. But if not, or they will be picking at 7 actually. But if not, if they don't win those 2 games, they probably are picking somewhere between 3 and 5. So we don't have a shot anymore to be picking at like 8 or 9 or 10. The lowest we could possibly pick is 7. And even then, I don't know who these teams play next week. So their strength of schedule could be more difficult than us, and that will push us higher. So it looks like we're going to be picking somewhere between 1 and 5, 1 and 6, something like that. Because I don't see us winning next week, but it's possible. Deonte Banks, speaking of kick return, lets the ball roll out of the end zone. And Jackson Dart, the offense, is coming back out. Yeah, that's the thing. We might very well be able to get 3 first rounders. Because the Jets have what? 2 this year. They got 2 next year. So if we get 2 this year from them, no, they got 3 this year, I think. They got 3 this year and 3 next year, I think. Because they traded away Sauce and Quentin. So I'm pretty sure they might have, but the Jets have a bunch of picks, is what I'm saying. So I think that's possible from the Jets. And then other teams are going to know what the Jets have, and that's going to be the starting point. Here we go. Tracy immediately getting 5 yards, 5.5. So here we go, 2nd and down for the Giants. It'll be a 2nd and 4, most likely. 9:20 left in the second quarter. Handoff to Tracy, who probably could have gotten to the edge, but is going to end up being a yard short. So that's a gain of 3 there. Oh yeah, a lot of people have been saying that. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh yeah, you gotta go out and get Mendoza." Like, I'm not impressed by Mendoza, like, in comparison to Dart at all. I'm just not. 3rd and 1 here. Handoff to Tracy, and Dart actually holds on to this and dives after being clear past the first down marker and gets hit. And, of course, they're going to continue the narrative that, oh, he's got to come out of the game because he got hit. I'm surprised they didn't put him in the tent after that. Every time this dude takes a hit, they put him in the tent. First and 10 here. Dart throwing it short to Hodgins, who makes a guy miss and picks up a quick 9 yards. So the Giants moving pretty fast. Pretty fast down the field. Giants gearing up to go up 14-3. Oh yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like Kafka obviously has a different way of using Jackson Dart than Brian Dable has been. So Jackson Dart drops back, immediately is under pressure, and then sees that there's space and picks up a first down. So he dropped back and was immediately under pressure. I'm not sure if that was Bo that gave that up immediately. But good job by Dart to get out of that situation. Dropped back, immediately was under pressure, stepped up, kept his balance, and picked up the first down there. So 1st and 10 again, Jackson Dart throwing it again. Taking a shot, and he's got Darius Slayton, who looked like he dropped it, but actually caught it. So 21-yard throw from Jackson Dart. Of course, he's already got way more passing yards than he did last week. So nice route concept by Mike Kafka. Got Darius Slayton wide open. So here we go. I'm expecting to see a run here. Jackson Dart handing it off. Oh, throwing it short to Wandale, who's trying to get outside and picks up 6.5. So a short kind of, almost like a quick screen to Wandale Robinson and picking up 6. All right, so here we go. Back in the gun. Dart taking off again. Dart up the middle. Dart getting into the end zone. Touchdown. Man, I've missed it. I've missed Jackson Dart running up the field, man. I've missed it. So the Giants go up 13-3 with the extra point pending. Finally. Let the guy use his legs. Let the rookie use his legs while he's developing. It's been working all year. And Jackson Dart back in the end zone again. Jackson Dart has 8 rushing touchdowns this year. 8 rushing touchdowns this year is crazy. And Ben Sauls, again, money from the extra point. I always appreciate any made kick. Always appreciate that, being a Giants fan. Yeah, listen, we all started this game rooting for the tank, but the Raiders aren't coming back from this. They're not coming back from this, folks. They're not coming back from this, so we might as well enjoy this blowout that's about to happen. So, update on what I said earlier. If we win today and lose next week, the lowest we can possibly pick is 3. So, the lowest we can possibly pick is 3 if we win today and lose next week to the Cowboys. The Cowboys are already eliminated, so expect to get their best. Expect to get their best effort next week. So, I mean, if we do end up being, winning this game, and Dante Moore is the guy that's going to be after Mendoza, then, somebody can possibly give up some picks for him. But we can't win today and win against the Cowboys because that can push us down to like 6 or 7, to be honest. Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand why this dude just is so scared to fall on the ground. Like, it's grass, man. Like, it doesn't feel great to fall on the grass, but at the same time, it's like, it's football, it's grass. Why do you always have to put your arm down to break it? That's crazy. I don't get that either. Hey, I don't know anybody in my family with hands that bad. I don't know about that one. So Scatterboo, they're highlighting him. The dude had 400 yards in those couple games he played. Got 100 carries, 401 carries, 401 yards. So 400 and something yards. But man, that was fun. Scatterboo and Dart to start this off was a lot of fun. Jackson Dart is on the sideline saying 6'7". Oh my gosh. All right. Raiders try to field the kick in the end zone. He bobbled it, and then he just ended up taking a knee. So, Geno Smith coming back out, trying to make it a 14-10 ball game. Meanwhile, the Eagles and Bills are duking it out, and Goddard put 7 on the board there. So 14-3 here. Raiders with 5:56 left. Geno under center. Genty back there looking like Michael Myers. And Trey Tucker tries to get this reverse, and Abdul Carter blew it up. Abdul Carter blew that play up. Like I said, at this point, we might as well just start enjoying the blowout. So they tried to bring Trey Tucker across the formation on kind of like a jet sweep, a fake handoff and jet sweep, and Abdul Carter was not fooled at all. He just blew that whole play up. The Raiders lost like 8 yards. They lost 10 yards here. 2nd and 20 coming up. Abdul Carter tries to spin. Trey Tucker here catches it against Deonte Banks and almost got away from Deonte Banks. But Banks got him down there. So gain of 7 there on 2nd and 20. 3rd and 13 coming up. So Geno Smith on the 3rd and 13 here in the gun. He's got Michael Mayer lined up at tight end, 3 wide receivers. Genty back there beside him. Geno Smith stepping up, taking a shot. And, I mean, Holland tipped the pass, but still caught by Trey Tucker for a first down. And now they're throwing a flag. And they're going to call holding. Holding on the Raiders, so that first down conversion is coming right back. So let's see if that was actually a hold. I don't know if that was a hold, but hey, it is what it is. So 3rd and 22 from the Raiders. Short throw to Jackson. And the Raiders will punt. So, yeah, like I said, we're not losing this game, folks. We're not losing. The Raiders stink. They're the worst team. The Titans are the last team that they beat. So, I mean, come on, folks. But we got to make sure we lose next week, because if Dante Moore comes out, we can still get a haul. Dante Moore comes out at 2, we can still get a haul. So let's enjoy the blowout, because I'm gonna be sick if we still get a haul. And I really did. And I spent this entire day that we had a blowout game I could have enjoyed. Whoa, we got Giants players fighting on the sideline. Oh, a Raiders player fighting a Giants player on the sideline. How did he even get over there? How did he even get over there? So he got blocked all the way into the bench. And then they started fighting. Oh my gosh, that was a disrespectful block. And then they threw oh man, he didn't even get ejected. He just threw a punch. So the refs must have missed the right hook they got thrown. The refs must have missed the right hook they got thrown. Hey man, have fun outside in the snow. That's better than what you'll see on the TV. That's better what you'll see than what you'll see on the TV, man. I hate us. That's all I got. Have a good one, guys. Maybe Dark can get another. Oh no. Hey, I understand your sentiment, Ryan. I understand the sentiment. The Giants are not going to lose this game. The Raiders stink, which is why I try not to ever root for us to lose, because it's like at the end of the day, the games are going to happen the way they're going to happen. They decided to bench Max Crosby before this game, put him on IR. So, I mean, how are they going to win any games against anybody? I mean, we should be able to walk out of this game. If we walk out of this game with a win and we're picking 2, I'll be okay with that, because the Raiders will most likely still take Mendoza at 1 or Dante Moore, whichever one they want, and then whoever is there at 2 is probably going to they'll probably want to trade up to 2. So I just saw something. Somebody's mad on Twitter about Okereke catching that pick. Okereke came and changed the game. But yeah, we still have that chance to trade back and get a haul as long as we lose next week. And who do the Raiders play next week? Are they benching their starters? I want to know who I wonder who they're playing next week because it's possible. It's possible the Raiders might beat the Chiefs next week. Or is that wishful thinking? It's possible. Like, it's possible. It could happen. Because if the Giants win this game and then the Raiders, but we beat the Raiders, so they would still have the number one pick. Because the strength of schedule was still. Anyway, handoff here to look like Tracy or Singletary. Tracy. Gain of 4 there. But I'm pretty sure that if the Giants win today and lose next week, and the Raiders win next week and lose today, I'm pretty sure we still would have the number one pick if they beat the Chiefs next week. But we would have to lose next week either way. So 2nd and 5 coming up. Dart in the empty set. Dart back there by himself hitting Wandale, who's wide open for a first down. Gain of 11. They called it a gain of 8 actually. Oh yeah, man. Like, listen, we could have locked in the first overall pick by losing today, but of course they're gonna step up today. Play action from Dart. He's got time. He's taking a shot. He's got Wandale wide open. Wandale making a guy miss. Wandale making another guy miss, running a guy over. He's hyped. Wandale is turned up. So Wandale picking up 36 here. I'm looking to see how far is Wandale away from excuse me. How far is he away from a 1,000-yard season? Oh yeah, man. You know they're gonna go out there and win next week. So Wandale today is 9 targets, 8 catches, 86 yards. What is he at for the season? Let's see. So Wandale so far this year is at 901 yards. So Wandale with a couple more catches is going to get to his first 1,000-yard season. So that's at least exciting. I'm excited for Wandale. Wandale is 13 yards away from a 1,000-yard season. Yeah, but I already know that we're going to go out there next week against the Cowboys after we win this game and put it on the guy, like completely trounce them. Yeah, I'm happy for Wandale. I'm happy because he should have gotten a 1,000-yard season a while ago. But, and people say he does drop passes, but not as much as Darius Slayton. So, yeah, of course the Giants are out here. They're stopping the run. What a joke, man. There's always something with this team. Giants have given up 6 rushing yards today. 6 rushing yards today from the Giants have given up. This is going to completely throw their yards per carry stat back to something normal if they keep this pace up. They are losing the time of possession because the Raiders turned the ball over. 196 total yards to the Raiders, 104. And that's Jamal Adams still in the league. Jameis Winston. Why is Jameis Winston arguing with Jamal Adams? How did he even get over there? That's crazy. Refs letting them play. Jameis Winston and Jamal Adams going at it. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 at the 35. Hand off to Tracy. Tracy has nowhere to go, but he's going to fight forward for about 2.5. Yeah, I want to know what Jameis said. Did he say God bless you? Like I've seen Jameis mad, of course. Like when he was on the like when he was on the Bucks. But it's just funny. Like, was he out there saying God bless you? Like, see you in church? I don't know. I mean, the way Jameis has been talking recently, it's like he doesn't have a negative bone in his body. And now you got a Raiders player down. So you got a Raiders player down. 123 left in the second quarter. I'm pretty sure the Giants got the ball first, so Raiders will get it out of the half. So this is crucial for them if they want to stay in this game. But I just doubt it. The way the Giants are driving right now and how the Raiders have looked all season. But again, maybe the Raiders can go out next week and lose to the Chiefs. So let's see. You got. I'm trying to see how that dude ended up getting hurt. He just pulled something. I can't tell. He invited him to his book club. It had to be something like that, man. Like invite him to his book club. I don't know. So 3rd and 5 coming up. Jackson Dart. 3 wide receivers. Bellinger in at tight end. Bellinger moves to the backfield alongside Singletary, moves back to tight end in a tight slot. Jackson Dart 3rd and 5 here. Decent protection. Throwing it short. Singletary is going to be a half yard short. But the ref is going to give him the first down. Wow, the ref is going to give him the first down. We'll take it. I guess we'll take it. And of course, that's going to be reviewed because that was really close. Only trust 2 wide receivers coming out of college. I mean, there's going to be some good players, but I definitely understand. We should trade our 3rd or 4th for Tyreek. He's kind of getting up there, though, and you got to pay him. Man, I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, as soon as I got on stream, I just start getting stuffed up. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to trade for a receiver because I don't want to pay for one right now. I mean, it's not like we won't have any cap space, but I just kind of don't want to pay that much when we can get similar production from like a Tate or even a Tyson, or there's a lot of options at wide receiver. A lot of options at wide receiver. Yeah, we're not keeping that number 1 pick. Yeah, Malik Neighbors is nice. I do want a number 2 though. So a legit number 2. Wandale is about to get 1,000 yards, so maybe he's your legit number 2. But I still think Wandale is more of a high level 3, low level 2. And And, I don't know how much he wants to get paid. But I would love to bring Wandale back. Bring Wandale back and still go out and get a wide receiver too. And then you have like a good problem there. But we were putting up, 25, 30 points, 34 points against the best defenses in football with no Malik Neighbors. So it's not as big of a need as you think, but it still is a need. We do need some more depth at wide receiver, especially with Darius Slayton basically regressing and losing all his confidence this year. But I'm still holding out there. Hopefully we can, if we win today, hopefully just take care of business next week and you have the second overall pick. And of course they overturned that because Singletary was clearly short of the first down. The Giants have a 4th and 1 coming up, and Kafka, if he's being similar to what he's been all year long, we're gonna go for it here. Half a yard short of a first down. And the announcer is saying that he clearly picked up the first. Anyway, 4th and 1 coming up. The Giants will definitely go quarterback sneak here. $14 and 3. 58 seconds left to go. 4th and 1 coming up. I mean, the Giants are definitely going quarterback sneak here. And they got somebody to jump. Wow. The Raiders literally jumped off sides here. Like, we actually got the Raiders to jump off sides. Raiders are punking the New York Giants right now in regards to them tanking for possibly the number 1 draft selection, in which they might take C. Tate instead of us grabbing them. They're not taking Tate at number 1. There's no way. There's no way. No way. They're taking Mendoza or they're trading back, but they're not going to take a receiver at number 1 with how bad their team is. They either would take a bunch of picks to try to improve their team, or they would take Mendoza, which they're most likely are going to do, because they're definitely moving on from Geno. But we'll most likely win next week, which is unfortunate. 2nd and 10 coming up. 5 wide. Hitting Wandale. Wandale making a guy miss, making another guy miss. Stretches the ball out, and I think he's at 1,000. So Wandale Robinson looks like he has 1,000 yards. It looks like, I'm pretty sure Wandale went over 1,000 with that run. Wandale with 90 yards in the first half, too. So here we go. 32 seconds left in the second quarter. You say he intentionally crossed. You think so? I don't know. I think he actually got him off sides. Jackson Dart had to get rid of it. Couldn't connect with Hodges right there. That Raiders blitz came pretty late. Jamal Adams. So yeah, Austin Slopeman. And at center, JMS hurt. So here we go. Second and goal for the Giants and the game. Dart stepping up. Dart running left. Dart throwing it. And that almost got caught. Oh, man. Oh, man. Like I said, all of a sudden I just got so stuffed up. So third and goal coming up for Dart. Here we go. Throwing it short to Tracy, and we'll lose 5 yards. So the Giants managed to still frustrate me. After basically clinching this win, they're going to not score at the end of the half. So I can't, brag about Dart's stats after the season. And Jamal Adams is down. Yeah, Wandale either has 100 yards. Yeah, Wandale sometimes disappears. So here we go. The Giants are going to come out here and kick this field goal. You got Ben Sauls here. So Ben Sauls is the first he's the first left-footed kicker since Janikowski, which is crazy because I could have sworn there were just a bunch of them, but maybe I'm crazy. So they're lining this up here. And again, this is like prime real estate for TV. We got a Giants kicker lining up to kick a kick. So how is this gonna go? Ben Sauls line up to kick a 32-yarder. And Ben Sauls kicks it right down the middle. This guy, if he had been our kicker all year long, we probably have 2 or 3 more wins. Yeah, they definitely sold out for the toilet. They definitely sold out for the toilet bowl. I don't think we really have problems at the O-line spot, but I would love to get some depth there. Because you do have Greg Van Roten, who you don't know if he's gonna even come back. So we do need a right guard at the very least. You know what's hilarious is Mike Kafka, the interim coach, is going to be able to tell people that he beat Pete Carroll. So at the half, the Giants are up 17-3. I can't really say I'm surprised. This was a game that I said we would win no matter what, and it was really wishful thinking. It was really wishful thinking for us to think that this team that's competed with all of these playoff teams, all these teams, we probably beat a team or almost beat a team that will probably win the Super Bowl. So it's kind of tough to expect this team to lose to the Raiders. because the Raiders are actually a bad team. We're a team that has just found a way to lose every single week, found a way to mess up and like not stay locked in on coming out of these games with wins. So the Raiders are actually a bad team. Do I think the Giants are racist? I don't think the Giants are racist. I don't think so. I've seen like some really some interesting claims that where people will say that's like this is the reason the Giants are racist, but I just don't see it from where I'm sitting. Yeah, now all of a sudden they want to win. All of a sudden they want to execute at the end. And maybe that's what they're going to do. They're going to fall apart at the end of the game again. But I really think what's happening is that Charlie Bullen is a better defensive coordinator than Shane Bowen. I think that, first off. And I also think the Raiders I think they're a horrible team. TD Midas says, I hate this team. Looks like we're just drafting down with the 4th or 5th pick. That's cool, but not what we wanted. So, I don't know if you all were here a little bit earlier, but like I said, if the Giants manage to lose next week to the Cowboys, which the Cowboys are going to be playing all their guys because they're not in the playoffs this year. So if they manage to lose next week to the Cowboys, even if we win today, the highest we can possibly pick is 2. Like, there's no way we're picking any worse than 2. But if they manage to win next week, then, they're going to be picking at 5 or 6 again. Most likely. He was up 10-0 on the Bills. So here we go. The Patriots up 35-3 on the Jets. 42-10. Drake made 5 touchdowns today. 19 for 21 and 5 touchdowns from Drake May today. That is nuts. That is nuts, man. Phillip Rivers, Phillip Rivers just can't pull out a win, man. He just can't pull out a win. I don't know who the Colts play next week, but it'd be cool to see Phillip Rivers get a win. So, yeah, I wonder who they play next week. Dolphins competing. Quinn Ewers, 2 touchdowns, beating the Bucs. Let's go, Quinn Ewers, a guy that I've been a big fan of for years. Came out and beat the Bucs. Came out and beat Baker Mayfield and the Bucs today. So let's see what the chat's looking like. Brian Flores thinks the Giants are. Oh, man. And then Bowers, they just start throwing guys on the bench, throwing guys on IR. Max Crosby posted a video today of him like playing basketball and doing all this crazy stuff in his house, and it's just like they clearly are tanking. Let's see what else is here. Say your best player is hurt and he's out there having basketball. That's just what I was talking about. The dude's jumping around on a trampoline, but he's got to get meniscus surgery. And I think that dude might be done with the Raiders. Like the way he left the building, I don't think he liked that much. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want Dart to have a good game. Like I wish we could have gotten a touchdown throw from Dart right there, but Ended up taking a field goal. But the Giants, nonetheless, are up 17-3 because this team stinks. The Raiders are bad, man. Like, the Raiders are really bad. They're always in the market looking for one. I could definitely see the Eagles picking them up. So Jackson Dart 15 for 20, 134, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, but a 21 yards rushing and a 12-yard rushing touchdown. So Dart back in the end zone this week, but still missing out on a passing touchdown. It's been a while. Yeah, I mean, it's just so hilarious because again, I think it was wishful thinking to expect us to lose to this team. Like they stink. Which is why I was saying like a couple of years ago, I was like the Giants are not the worst team in the league, so they can't get the first pick. It's just not going to happen. They're going to find a way to win these games. But I really hope we end up picking 2 at least. I really hope we don't go out there and be superheroes and beat the Cowboys. Because I could also really see the Chiefs going out there next week without Mahomes and losing to the Raiders. I could see that too. But the Raiders are really bad. The Titans, I don't know what their record is, but again, that's the last team that the Raiders beat. Oh, I think there will be an investigation, to be honest with you. I think with like as much of a stink that fans have made, I think there will be an investigation. Because people do bet on who will get the first overall pick. I wish too, but he's not getting paid so much to where if we cut him that it would strap us. I understand, like, we would like lose money by cutting him, but I don't think. I think it's worth exploring just moving on. They got 3 wins today. Okay. So yeah, that's good. And it looks like as long as we continue to go out there and lose next week to the Cowboys, which I mean I can't see this defense unless all of a sudden Charlie Bullen is just this beast at defensive coordinator. I can't see this defense losing to. I can't see this defense like not giving up like 30 to the Cowboys. We need a doc. I don't know. I made documentaries on this channel before, but I don't know. Let me see. I want because I don't dislike Darius Slayton as a person, but it is frustrating watching that dude play. And it's frustrating that he always wants to put his hand down. Cam Ward was on fire today. I got to go back and look at that then. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Dante Moore will come out. I'm going to be upset, obviously, if he doesn't. But I'm thinking he'll come out this year and, hopefully be the number 2 overall pick because the Raiders are going to take Mendoza. Like 90% chance the Raiders are going to take Mendoza unless they get a haul where they just say, like, screw it. We'll just take somebody next year. We want Arch Manning. But I think the Raiders are going to take Mendoza. And then I think the next pick is going to be, whoever wants Dante Moore, move heaven and earth to come get him. And then you just got to also think, like, is anybody going to move heaven and earth for a Mendoza or a Dante Moore? Do they think that highly of these 2 quarterbacks? Because I wouldn't. I wouldn't move multiple first-round picks for Mendoza or Moore. But, teams always are open to doing that. Even Tyler Shuck has actually looked good for a couple of weeks. Wandale has to be re-signed. I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth. It's like he had his 1,000-yard season. He's had some success this year, but there's just been years of him not having success. as the number 2 guy, as you know, with Malik Neighbors out there. And it's like, what are you doing to make the offense better? And is he going to be better than a Cardinal Tate? Because I don't think he is, and Cardinal Tate is cheaper. But you know, if you can't trade out of that second overall pick, then you're not getting the Cardinal Tate and you're not getting the Jordan Tyson. So then you're taking a second round receiver probably at best, because you're probably going to take Downs or a defensive player there. So you know, you got a lot to think about. Exactly. That Slayton money was supposed to go to Wan'Dale. That's exactly what was supposed to happen. I don't know why. Like, I was surprised that Slayton even wanted to come back. It made no sense to me. And yeah, that was dumb to me. Like, that he would only run routes underneath. It was like Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt can go deep. Slayton can go deep, and Wan'Dale just can never go deep, which made no sense to me. Because he's got speed. And he can work the intermediate area of the field. Caleb Downs should be available. No matter what happens with these games and the tanking and all that, we should have a shot to take Caleb Downs. We should have a shot at him. Now, if they take him, you know, that's up to them. But we should definitely have a shot at taking Caleb Downs. I keep wanting to say Caleb Williams. So coming out of the half here, our O-line is suspect next year. We're gonna get back 4 or 5 starters unless we let JMS walk. So I'm not as concerned. But you know, I think we do need to address the line. Giants fans are definitely upset by what's going on. So here we go. Raiders are going to start at the 22. And somebody's holding their knee. Somebody on the Giants is holding their knee. I'm not sure who this is. Let's see. I just posted something on Instagram saying congrats for 1K on Wan'Dale. And that's Javon Holland. We're trying so hard, Javon Holland, and tore his ACL. We're trying so hard, Javon Holland, and tore his ACL here on special teams of all teams. Like at this point, man, what are we doing, man? Why is Javon Holland consistently on special teams? We always got these dudes on special teams. Oh, yeah, they're going to be saying that. Yeah, they're definitely going to be saying that. Bobby mad as hell. Yeah. I don't think that was possible. I don't think you were getting Downs and Reese. I don't think that was going to happen. You say Anthony Hill? Maybe Hill, but not Downs and Reese though. Yeah. That might happen though. That might happen. That might happen with the second overall pick because they might want to come up and get more. All right. Um. Yeah. I mean, I I'm just so frustrated that we got Holland getting injured on special teams and this meaningless game. It's like, come on, man. Here we go. Gino on the gun. Play action. Throwing it short to Mayer. Mayer is stiff arming Moisau for a first down. 13 yards there on first down for the Raiders. The Raiders got 5 rushing yards. It's crazy. They got 5 rushing yards. So here we go. Gino under center now. And now you got a holding call, but Genty is going to get about a yard here. And they're probably going to go back 10. So let's see what the call is. I'm guessing this is a holding call or offsides. They called an illegal shift. So they have a 1st and 15 coming up. They're calling an illegal shift. So here we go. Raiders here, 1st and 15. Gino still under center. Michael Mayer in motion. Gino hands it off to NPC number 3, and he picks up 2. Dex has looked a lot better the last couple of weeks. I'm expecting him to be the Dex of old by next year. Definitely has been playing hurt this year, but he's been looking better recently. Here we go. Short throw. Yeah, Giants blew that play up. Geno Smith tried to throw a screen to Burns. Or throw a screen, and Burns was just all over it. And now you got a flag down. They're going to call that grounding. So now they're going to call an eligible player downfield here. They're going to decline that. And you got a 3rd down and long coming up. Yeah, I mean, the Raiders stink. They're not good. They're not good. They don't know how to exploit the Giants' defense. Everybody has exploited them. Because literally, like, this defense has folded every single, like, 3rd and 13 here. And Dexter Lawrence with the sack, but this is going to come back because Abdul Carter jumped off sides. So here we go. We're playing a game of penalties. Abdul Carter's got to watch it. This is the 3rd or 4th time this dude has jumped off sides in like the last 6 weeks maybe. So 3rd and 8 coming up instead of a 3rd and 13. Takes a sack off the board for Dex, who, like how I just said, was doing really good. I can't tell if that's him on the field still. And it's Brian Burns, sack number 16, and he dropped the ball. Okay, he didn't drop it. But sack number 16, and he's at 16 and a half sacks, actually. Burns came right up the A-gap. And Brian Burns just tied JPP for the most sacks in a season. Since, of course, Michael Strahan. because I don't think anybody has. Did OC get over 16 and a half? I can't remember. But not many people have gotten over 16 and a half sacks for the Giants. Gunnar Olszewski, whoa, got laid out there. So the Giants will start at 21. So let me check OC stats. Because I know OC had a really high sack season. I can't remember. Oh, I'm tripping. He got 14 and a half sacks. So, yeah, Brian Burns is probably what, like tied for second with OC? Yeah, Burns might be able to sneak 20. Work in tech. You know what's funny? I didn't work in tech for most of the time I've been working, but I just started working in tech like 6 months ago. So that's funny. Burns can sneak in. Hopefully Burns can get 20. Because to get 20 in a lost season like this is crazy. Like Myles Garrett at 20 sacks is just crazy. It's like, how do you get that many sacks and it not translate to wins? Like JPP's biggest the impact of all JPP sacks translated directly to basically us going to the Super Bowl. But these sacks couldn't even translate to us like being a competitive team, which is crazy to me. Gino acting like he's really. I think Gino actually is really upset. Like I don't think the tank is going to benefit Gino because he's going to get replaced. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. JPP sacks, man, and all these sacks aren't like. Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. Brian Burns so far has had an equivalent of like a 12 sack season because he had 2 sacks where he was just literally running beside Patrick Mahomes as he threw the ball away. So he got the pressure on those plays, but they weren't sacks. They weren't actual sacks. You get what I'm saying? And then he's had at least 5 of them that's been unblocked. But sacks are sacks, stats are stats, and he's had a great season. He's had a great season. And you're ahead of me. Apparently Slayton is catching stuff. Okay, so yeah. Brian Burns, 16.5. JPP, 16.5. Strahan, 18.5. Lawrence Taylor, 20.5. Strahan, 22.5. So here we go. 1st and 10. Jackson Dart back there by himself, taking a shot to Slayton, who's going to catch this in the middle of the field. Doesn't know what to do with it. And ends up picking up about 13. Here we go, Dart again. And the ball got tipped in the air, and Bo caught it, dropped it. So, incomplete pass. And Wan'Dale Robinson was open. And like I said, I made a graphic saying congrats on 1,000 yards, but I think he's actually like 7 yards or 8 yards away. Maybe 9. Because he had 901 yards coming in, and he has 90 yards right now. Dart's got forever, and he hits Wan'Dale, and there you go. 1,000 yards right there from Wan'Dale. So there you go, Wan'Dale over 100 yards and officially has 1,000 yards for the season. I got to sit down with my cousin. My cousin needs to pay me by the hour to sit down with him. Dart keeping the ball, Dart up the field, and he's actually getting out of bounds. They try to say Dart doesn't get out of bounds. The dude actually slides and does get out of bounds. Come on now. keeps it on the option. There's nobody on that side of the field and manages to get out of bounds. So here we go. Just across the 50 now. Dart in the gun. Pitch to Tracy. Tracy's got some space. Tracy up the field. Tracy across the 30. Cutting back again. Oh, boy. Tracy across the 20. Oh, man. That's a nice run from Tracy. The Giants are over 100 yards rushing. We've been able to run the ball on everybody, but today, I mean, they are not very good in the open field against our running backs. Tracy and Singletary haven't been bad. Dart still back there, and there we go. Dart did a good job. He was under pressure, was getting sacked, threw it up the field, shoveled it, got an incomplete pass out of it. And they definitely missed the face mask on Tyrone Tracy at the end of that run. They're saying that Dart was down by contact, and he was. Okay. So he'll get the sack. Marcus Bowe gave up a sack there, which is why, like I said, do we explore putting Bowe at guard? I don't think he's a train wreck at tackle. So, who knows? Yeah, he got to give me that hourly rate. My hourly rate is not going to put a dent in his pockets. Like I'm not going to ask for too much. I know those New Jersey, New York taxes are high. Listen, I don't need much. Just give me a $1,000 an hour rate, and I got him. He won't drop another pass. Dart takes off right there, picks up a first down on 2nd and 14, and we are inside the 10. Because just think about it too, folks. Like, I know we're tanking, but at the same time, it's like, are we going to, like, do you feel like Jackson Dart should lose? Like, our franchise quarterback, do we think he's going to be our franchise guy? Do we feel like he should lose to the Raiders in this year? Like, do we want that on his record, that he lost to this team? Because this team is horrible. Handoff here to Tracy. Tracy's got a little space. He's still fighting, and he's going to get about 2. You said Njigba. Not Njigba. What's the guy's name? Oh, my gosh. On the Bucks. He's had a great season so far. I don't know how I'm forgetting his name. The Bucks wide receiver from Ohio State. I know who exactly you're talking about. And it's not Njigba because he's a vet at this point. But Ibuka, Ibuka is probably. He's probably going to win Rookie of the Year because Dart has hit this slump. If Dart would have come back and stayed on that same track, he probably would have gotten it. But because he got hurt and, he came back and started slow, I think Ibuka probably has it locked up. So here we go, 3rd and goal here. Let's see if we can put it in the end zone, man. Like, come on, Jackson. Let's throw it. Let's throw it into the end zone. They say you're a running back at this point. Like, let's throw it in the end zone. Here we go. Basically throws it away. And here on the 3rd and goal, the Giants will probably take the field goal. Yeah, no one was open right there. Dart had to get rid of it quickly, and the Giants will take their 3. It is a fan vote if enough of us vote. What do you mean, the Pepsi Rookie of the Year, I guess? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Ibuka is gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be tough. I think there's a lot of people that hate Dart. They all loved him, those first couple weeks. Everybody's like, I love Jackson Dart. But ever since he got hurt, They've just all hated him. So I wonder if he's done enough, because again, Ibuka has had a good season. I mean, let me look up Ibuka's stats, because I think he's probably already over 1,000. And it is also hard for a wide receiver to win this award. Okay, he's at 900. So he's not having like a once in a generation type of season. So he's at 900. He just had 20 yards a day, 40 yards last week, 60-40 the week before, 15 the week before. So he's kind of falling off too. So he's having a slow spot right now too. So yeah, it's possible. It's possible that he still wins it, because Ibuka hasn't had a good game in a while, like a really dominant game. He started off playing really well. 67 yards and 2 touchdowns, 29 yards and a touchdown, 85 yards, 101 yards and a touchdown, 163 and a touchdown, 24, 58, 35. So it's a little bit slow spot right there. 115 and a touchdown. So he's kind of been up and down, but these last 4 games he hasn't been too special. Alex says, wow, haven't watched games since week 4. Wow. That's tough, because we had some kind of fun in week 4. I mean, let me think about it. Week 4 was Dart's first start and we won. So that's tough. You missed those couple games, but yeah, this was a chance to lock in the number 1 pick. But again, it's like when you come out and you're rooting for a tank and you're rooting to lose games, it's very difficult to actually do that, because this team stinks, and they're also putting guys on IR. If we were to put, the guys who are banged up on IR, so let's say we put Illumino on IR, Andrew Thomas is already out. I mean, at this point, the team just stinks. The Raiders aren't good. I don't know what to say. There wasn't any way we were going to be able to pull this off, because the Raiders are that much worse than us. Like, the fact that we were able to compete with the Lions, compete with the Chargers, beat them, blow the Eagles off the field, basically put up 30-something points on the Broncos. I mean, the fact that we were able to do all that, it's kind of difficult to expect them, just Jackson Dart alone, to come out there and not put up a win against the Raiders of all teams. The only way we would have been able to win this game, we would have been able to lose this game, is if we would have sent Russell Wilson out there. And even then, Russ might have been able to, the way the Raiders are playing, Russ might have just been able to throw it deep every play. And we might have been able to win that way. Because you see how this defense is tackling, how they're stopping the Raiders' run game. They're just not, the Raiders aren't good. They're just not a good team in any way. So here we go. Trey Tucker again on the end around. They're throwing it short to Trey Tucker, and he's making a guy miss. Roy Robertson-Harris brings him down after a gain of 7. And the intensity in this game, it started off pretty intense, but Abdul Carter lays Geno Smith out. But it started off intense, and the game kind of looks lackadaisical now, like they're just trying to get out of here. 2nd and 3 coming up. Geno under center. Let's see. Hand off to Genty. Genty with some space. Should have cut outside, but he runs through a couple tackles and picks up about 17, maybe 16. They call it 13. Like, the Raiders are the guys who were backups on our line. Like, Stone Forsythe is on the Raiders. So it's like, they're not a good team. They're not a good team. So here we go. 1st and 10. Michael, oh my God, how many times is Geno gonna slip handing the ball off? The offensive lineman, the center, keeps stepping on Geno's foot. Like, how many times is the center gonna step on Geno Smith's foot? Let's see. Is that the center? I think that is the center. Second and 6 coming. Another handoff to Genty. Genty cutting it back, and he's going to get a yard. Another handoff to Genty, and this time he's going to lose a yard. Abdul Carter again, another tackle for a loss. Abdul Carter he should win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but the narrative is that he's had a bad season and he's not going to practice and everything else. But he should win. Should win Rookie of the Year. Abdul Carter been in the corner, but Michael Mayer catches that and the Raiders are down at the 20. So the Giants defense showing what they can be by just kind of collapsing right now. Abdul Carter bent that corner really quickly. But Geno just got it off to Michael Mayer, and the Raiders are down at the 20. So they just took Abdul Carter and Brian Burns out for a breather. So expect the Raiders to try to throw this. And they will. And Geno targets a guy down the middle of the field and just kind of missed him. And that time, Chauncey Golston whooped their right tackle. Again, they're not good. Like, look at how Chauncey Golston is whooping their tackles like that. Another handoff to Genty, and he's going to lose another yard. Yeah, this is, the Raiders have got to be like, they're definitely the worst team in the league right now. Especially since Cam Ward has gotten better and stopped making mistakes. They got to be the worst team in football right now. 3rd and 11 coming up. Geno in the gun. Geno under pressure, hitting Michael Mayer again. He's only got one target, and Mayer's going to fall forward. And we're going to be about 4 yards short, or they're going to be 4 yards short of a first down. Here we go. So 4th and 3, Geno in the gun. This is a huge play for the Raiders here. If they can pick up this first down, get in the end zone, that makes it a game. Geno extending the play. Geno finding a guy for a first down. Brian Burns definitely got held right there. And they didn't call it. So the Raiders convert on a huge 4th down. And again, if they can get in the end zone here, that becomes it becomes a game. Becomes a 10-point game, but a game nonetheless. And now we got 12 players in the huddle on defense. So here we go, 20-3. Raiders deep in Giants territory at the 4-yard line. Hand off to Genty. Genty's trying to cut back. He's going nowhere, and he's going to lose 2 yards. Golston brings him down. Going back 2 yards again. I mean, Genty is having a bad day. It's looking like him. I forgot who it was that shut him down in college. Play action. Geno taking off. He thought he had a place to run, and he just gets a yard. And he's going nowhere. So here we go. Geno. They're talking about Nacho being out, but the Giants defense, for the most part, is holding up. The Raiders have, again, 24 rushing yards. Geno was 6 for 6 on third downs for 2 conversions. And Abdul Carter just completely gave Geno Smith no shot. No shot on third down. And Deonte Banks, maybe he needs to play edge rusher, came off the edge at 1,000,000 miles an hour and swatted that ball up in the air. So 4th and goal coming up. Is the Giants defense improved, or are they just the same old Giants defense on 4th down at the end of games or the end of the third quarter? Geno stepping up. 4th down. And of course the Raiders pick it up. Listen, it's still an early game. It's a 10-point game coming up. So 10-point game coming up. The Giants defense is known to fold in the second half. But Deonte Banks was the man in coverage, but he had forever. Tyler Lockett had forever to run routes and get open. So here we go coming up. All right, so they make the extra point. It is a 20-10 ball game. Reason I haven't showed the scoreboard is because when I start things off with the scoreboard, we usually end up losing. When I started off without the scoreboard. But also when I started with we lose every week. But I was just feeling that this will make us lose. But can the Raiders defense get a stop? I'd go with no. Probably not. But it's looking like the Giants defense is going to keep kicking. Giants offense is probably either going to turn the ball over or keep kicking field goals. This is what we usually do in these situations. It's either just stall out, drop a pass on the third down, or turn it over. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, we can definitely lose. It's a 10-point game with the entire third quarter left, with the entire fourth quarter left. We got the entire fourth quarter left. So listen, it's still a ball game. And them getting in the end zone right there. Again, if Geno doesn't throw that interception, it's a one possession game because they probably kick a field goal or score a touchdown there. But the fact that Joe Shane is safe is crazy to me. Like the fact that this dude is his job is safe is crazy to me. I don't get it. I have no idea. Let's see what else. We had to sit Dart now. They're not gonna sit Dart. Dart is trying to he's trying to do his thing. I wish, like I said, I would love for Dart to at least pad his stats. I don't want to win this game and Dart like only has so and so yards and a rushing touchdown. Like I wish Dart would actually like score. I wish this was like a 3 or 4 touchdown game from him. But it's just found its way to be a game where like I'm not happy with anything that happens. So here we go. Raiders are going to kick this off to us. Oh my God. Okay, I just got spoiled, but let's see. Let's see. So the Raiders are kicking this off. Deontay Banks is going to field this. Gunnar Olszewski out the block for him. Banks right up the middle. Banks down the left side. Banks down across the 50, across the 40, across the 30, across the 20, across the 10. Banks into the end zone. Oh, man. Listen, man, I really am happy for Deontay Banks because he's been in a horrible spot. He's been in a horrible spot. But this is crazy, man. Hey, listen, I'm about to I'm ready to retweet my tweet that's on my page right now. Because on my page, what does it say? Every time the franchise is on the line. That's my pinned tweet. Every time the franchise is on the line, the Giants put up 30. So if they put up 30, it's only right. We got an entire fourth quarter left. It looks like they're going to put up 40. But that was a nice return from Deontay Banks, man. That's the first time we get to see that 4.3 speed. That's good, man. If Deontay Banks can at least stay as a kick returner, I'd be happy because the dude has gone through it, man. He's definitely gone through it. A non-player out on the field. Not sure what that was. I don't know who was on the field that wasn't supposed to be on the field. That was a ref. They said a non-player because somebody had a hoodie on the field. So because one of the players who was in a sweatshirt was celebrating, the Giants are now kicking a 40-yard extra point. And Ben Sauls puts it right down the middle, man. Why didn't we have Ben Sauls the whole season? So Giants go up 27-10. That's ball game. That's ball game. And shout out to Deontay Banks, man. Like he accelerated. He accelerated into that gap and was gone. It's hilarious. Deontay Banks finally does something good, and people are gonna be mad about it. Flatter Kayvon. Yeah, I couldn't tell who it was, but that's hilarious. Like, why didn't we have? Where was Ben Sauls this whole season? Raiders not bringing this out of the end zone, so they'll start at the 30. Yeah, every time the season has been on the line to like lose and get a high pick, the Giants put up 30 every time. Every time. So the Raiders have to also lose next week to the Chiefs to secure that number one pick, but they probably got it. Geno dumping it off here to Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker making a guy miss, making another guy miss, picking up a first down. Deontay Banks, man, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, that might be what keeps Deontay Banks on the team is that he's been good as a returner, and he brought one back for a touchdown. Man, yeah. I mean, the Raiders definitely did their job, but they also stink. So I don't think they needed to do much. But yeah, the Giants weren't going to lose this. I mean, seeing the Giants weren't going to lose this game. We were all coming out hoping that they would lose, but the Raiders are clearly the worst team in the league, and they deserve the first overall pick. But hopefully we can get the second one. Hopefully the new defensive coordinator gets here and he's better. Maybe that'll do it because I think him returning these kicks is gonna buy him some extra time. So hopefully he can turn things around, and I think we're gonna get a corner, whether that be paying flat or even drafting a corner. I think we're gonna get a guy in here that's probably gonna be the starting corner across from Adebo, but at the same time, maybe he can be a good depth piece that ends up being a good player. I don't know, but I think that's gonna buy him some time here. Oh man, Desmond King was a good cornerback and took kicks back to the house. Yep, for sure. Yeah. Haven't missed anything here. But yeah, it's hilarious that when Deontay Banks finally brings back one for a touchdown, it's literally in a time where nobody wants him to do. 27-10 ball game. Geno Smith getting sacked, and that is Darius Alexander, man. There we go. That's his third sack this year. Darius Alexander won his one-on-one matchup with the guard, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from Darius Alexander on a week-to-week basis. I see him getting better every week, and I think he's going to be a good player for us. Don't know if he'll ever be, the guy next to Dex. I don't think he'll get that chance because I think we're going to take somebody pretty high or bring somebody in. But he's definitely going to be a good piece to this defensive line, at least during his rookie contract. So the Raiders ate up a good chunk of clock that last drive, went down the field, scored a touchdown, But this game is out of reach for them here with 13:40 left to go. Geno hitting Mayer again. Mayer is getting a lot of work today. And he's going to be about a half yard. Well, actually, that's going to be a first down because I'm looking at the marker right where the ref is. So that's a first down for sure. So Mayer is literally getting forced the football. Let's see what his he's got 89 yards today, counting that catch, which he just got dumped off to him for about 4 yards there. Yeah, they did. They got a lot of people on decks. As long as we get the third pick. Yeah, again, if we lose next week, we get the second pick. Geno taking a deep shot, and Adebo almost intercepted that. He had textbook coverage. I don't even know why he took that shot. Adebo out here like yawning because there's no comp. There's no comp. There's nobody out there to threaten Adebo at all at receiver. So here we go. Geno Smith, 27-10 ball game. Geno throwing another interception. That was Dane Belton. Dane Belton, the ball magnet. Dane Belton up the field. Oh, man, he almost took it back. And Geno Smith is down and he is hurt. Geno Smith is having a year from hell on the Raiders. I thought we didn't write back. I thought you didn't write back, Geno. Illegal blindside block. Dang, they messed up. They messed up, G. They only called that because he's a quarterback. But they messed up that man's ankle. They messed up Geno's ankle blocking him like that. He may have been able to beat the Chiefs next week, but now with a bad ankle. So yeah, let's see if Dart can get in the end zone, man. Like I'm trying to run up the stats for Dart. Like I'm trying to actually get some touchdowns for Dart, man. I'm not trying to sit here and just watch him hand the ball off, Singletary get a touchdown. Like that's not exciting. Who's the Raiders number 2? I have no idea, to be honest with you. Who's the Raiders' backup quarterback? Let's see. Raiders backup, Kenny Pickett. He might. Listen, I don't think Kenny Pickett is better than Geno Smith, but he might actually give him a spark or something because he's actually at least played in the league. He definitely stinks, though, too. Because I think if they had a competent backup, they would have already put him in. Because Geno is thinking up the place this year. Another 2 interceptions today. And yeah, all of that stuff he talked about, he didn't write back. Mac, I won't forget that tweet. What was that tweet? I got to find that tweet that Geno said. I got to find that tweet, man. Because he's got 17 interceptions, 18 touchdowns, and he's not even. He's not even close to Eli's age when he was talking that stuff on Twitter. I gotta know I gotta find that Geno Smith tweet. Because he said something like, here we go. I gotta find that tweet, man. Because he said something crazy where I was like, y'all owe my boy Mac an apology. Listen, I gotta go back to see if you all can see this. Y'all owe my boy Mac an apology. That's what he said about Eli Manning. That's what he said about Eli Manning. I don't think we owe Mac an apology. Dart holding it, hitting Wandale. Wandale getting the 7. And Geno Smith basically can't walk at this point. Yeah, definitely an ankle sprain for him. So second down here for Dart. Handoff to Singletary, who's going to get about a yard and nothing else. Yeah, they literally just watched this dude go out there and trip up Wandale and no flag. But, is what it is right there. 3rd and 2 coming up. Jackson Dart more than likely is going to pick this up with his legs. They're sending a delayed blitz. Dart taking off, hitting Gunner. Gunner up the field across the 50. First down. Jackson Dart looking like Dart from a couple of weeks ago, making a nice play on 4th down. Gunnar Olszewski wide open there on 3rd down. Jackson Dart delivering it. Here we go. Gunnar Olszewski still in the slot. Isaiah Hodgins in the tight slot. Handoff to Singletary. Singletary picking up 4. I can't believe Geno said that about Eli Manning. That was crazy. That was crazy. I definitely didn't forget that one. I wish I had that image of this dude laying on the ground after he threw that interception. Jackson Dart dumping it off to Bellinger. Bellinger making a guy miss. Bellinger's going to be about a yard and a half short of a first down. No, the Giants got to keep throwing it. They're like the Giants need to run it. No, just keep throwing the ball. Here we go. Dart in the gun. Pitch to Singletary. Singletary's going to easily pick up the first down. Clock keeps moving. 9 minutes left in the game. Easy work. So Singletary and Tracy have done whatever they wanted to do today. Whatever they wanted to do. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I definitely remember him crying about that dirty hit. Handoff there to Tracy, who's going to get about a yard and a half. So here we go. 2nd and 9 coming up. Here we go. Jackson Dart stepping up, stepping back. Patrick Mahomes type stuff, throwing the ball in the air, and he throws it away. And he was definitely out of the pocket there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Raiders field, but Dart just keeps slipping. And that field looks horrible. So here we go, 3rd and 9 here for Jackson Dart and the Giants offense. They've run a good amount of time off the clock. Raiders sending some pressure, dumping it off to Singletary. Singletary's got a block. Singletary's making a guy miss, and he picks up the 1st down. And there's a flag down. So let's see, they're probably going to go backwards. What was it, a legal man downfield? And that's exactly what they're saying. Yeah, Jackson Dart hasn't left this game. Unless you're talking about from his injury from a couple weeks ago. He's been back for a couple weeks, but he hasn't left this game, though. Or are you saying, like, is he back? Like, is he playing well again? Because that's possible, yeah. I think that's what you're saying. So, yeah, it's looking like he's playing well, at least in these 3rd downs. So they said there's no flag for ineligible man downfield. So they'll keep the chains moving. That's a 1st down conversion from Jackson Dart on that. Singletary did a lot of work there on that screenplay. Here we go. 2 wide receivers. 2 tight ends. Manhurst is one of them. Bellinger's the other. Singletary in the shotgun. I'm guessing it's going to be a handoff because they want to run some clock, but I wish that we just throw this in the end zone. Singletary with a lot of space, and he slips. This field looks horrible. It's just guys just keep slipping. All right, here we go. Dart under center. It's probably going to be a handoff here to Singletary. Singletary with a little space, and he's going to go nowhere. Half a yard gain at most. Bills can't do anything. Yeah, I noticed that. Philly got the Bills in a blender today. And Illuminor, his arm brace, his elbow brace or something, it comes off. And now the Raiders pick up a defensive unnecessary roughness foul and give us an automatic 1st down. That's crazy. So this guy got kicked in the head, and then he retaliated against Bo, and then somebody came over and attacked Bo. So I think that looked like a misunderstanding. I think he thought Bo hit him in the head, but he really got kicked in the head by, I think that was Tracy, trying to get up. So come on, Dart. Let's pad the stats. Let's throw this in the end zone. All right, Giants in the pistol here. Hand off to Tracy. Tracy fighting. Tracy picking up 3. I really wish we would throw it. Like, I don't care about sportsmanship or running the clock. Like, I really wish we would just throw the ball into the end zone. I really just want to pad the stats. Second and 7 coming up. Giants under center. 3 tight ends in the game, including the extra lineman. Tracy trying to get to the edge. He's cutting upfield. He's going nowhere. 3rd and 8 coming up after a loss of 1. I'm guessing if I had to guess these stats, I would guess Tracy has like 40, 50 yards. Singletary has like 50, 60 yards. Singletary probably also has like 30 or 40 receiving yards too. So 3rd and 8 coming up here. Dart in the gun. We're literally only throwing on 3rd down because we're trying to run clock. Raiders are sending a blitz. Dart not giving this guy a chance because he stopped running his route. And there's a flag down. And Dart got hit late. So they're going to give us another chance. Illuminor is a free agent at the end of this season. So we're going to have to pay him close to $20 million probably. Probably like 17 to 24 million, somewhere in that range. So that's going to be a decision they're going to have to make. Do you want this line to stay the same as it's played this year, which is very good, pass protection wise? Or do you want to risk it, start Bo, or draft another guy and start him? And, risk the line taking a huge step back with the young quarterback. So there were offsetting penalties there. And the Giants will have one more shot to throw it in the end zone. It's hilarious. The Raiders are tanking. The Raiders are tanking when they have the crowd is full and they're losing 27-10. So it's like they're almost there to celebrate the tank. 3rd and 8 coming up. Dart throwing it to Bellinger. Bellinger is going to be 1.5 yards, 2 yards short of a first down. I wonder if the Giants would go for this. And it looks like the Giants will go for it. And I really hope that we get a chance for Dart to throw this into the end zone. But there's no receivers on the field, so it's obviously going to be... we do have Hodgins on the field. Dart holds on to it. Dart taking off. Dart into the end zone. Touchdown. 2 rushing touchdowns today from Jackson Dart. One more. Get some 10 for the year. So one more touchdown from Dart from his legs gets him 10 on the year. Couldn't tell who that was, 39. And I don't understand why we haven't given Fedoni a shot at all. Who's 39? So the Giants once again in the Tankathon game put up 30 plus points. So let's see. I'm looking to see who 39 is because I'm like, that looks like a tight end, but he's wearing 30 something. And I know we don't have any fullbacks on the team. Caleb Murphy. Who is 39? There's not even a 39 on the roster. Practice squad. Let's see. What about practice squad? Zach Davison, 6'7", 245, tight end. Wearing 39. That's who that was that made that block. I just don't see it with Mendoza either. I don't get the hype on Mendoza. I don't get it. Being honest, I haven't looked at him intently, like, really with a fine-tooth comb, but I've seen him play. I've seen some tape on him, and I'm just not that impressed so far to where I'm saying, like, oh, he's going to be a guy that I should take with the number one pick, or if I'm another team that I should trade up for, but teams love him. So he's 6'5", pocket quarterback. He's got the traits they like. He's not as athletic as some people would try to tell you, but somebody's gonna trade up for him for sure. And I can see the same thing for Dante Moore. But I probably like Dante Moore a little bit better than Mendoza. So, yeah, the Giants are once again over 30-something points. If Arch was coming out, I think the hype has gone down on Arch. But maybe the hype gets built up after he talks to people and stuff. But I don't think Arch has looked as good as people thought he would look so far. But he's got another season, so he could definitely end up. Wow, I just saw the tweet. Deonte Banks officially has more touchdowns than Jalen Hyatt. That's crazy. So you're not a fan of who? I just completely lost my train of thought. So maybe you're talking about Moore. I think we were talking about Arch Manning. Yeah, he hasn't looked as good as people thought. Like, he came in for that one play when he was a freshman or a sophomore, and he threw a 70-something yard touchdown, and people were like, he's arrived. Take him with the number 1 overall pick. And I just haven't seen that. Like, he hasn't looked like the number 1 overall pick or even a top pick. But these guys have you always have time to improve, so he could have an amazing season. Look at the Giants messing up their yards per carry here with Genty on a 20-yard carry here at the end of the game. But he could always break out next year. That happens all the time in college football, so that's possible. But I haven't been impressed from what I've seen so far. Another handoff to Genty. Now Genty's going back a half a yard. The Raiders are so pressed. And I see Andrew Phillips holding his back. But the Raiders are so pressed. Like, why are they running the ball? Are they just trying to get out without an injury? Or are they just conceding, saying we're down by 24? But anyway, Kenny Pickett back there in the gun. 2nd and 11 here. Kenny Pickett throwing it short, and Adebo's just going to throw a guy out of bounds after a gain of 4. Adebo relaxing today, man. No work for Adebo today. A bunch of bombs he's going against, and then on top of that, the quarterback can't even get the ball to these guys. Third and 6 here. Here we go. Kenny Pickett. Abdul Carter almost got him down. Kenny Pickett's going to take a yard and go out of bounds. Abdul Carter almost got him. That's crazy. Abdul Carter, I mean, started off real slow, but I think he's got, like 4 or 5 sacks now? So we came into this game with 3.5. 3. That's hilarious how Abdul Carter got that half a sack week 1 and didn't get another sack until week 14. I don't even know. I'm not going to count all those weeks. But he didn't get another sack for at least over 10 weeks. Yeah, that's still on the board. Definitely still on the board. But we would have to lose next week, which, who knows if they're going to do that or if they're going to be superheroes next week against the Cowboys and, stymie their path. Like, who knows what the Giants will do. Because, again, if Dante Moore comes out, if he comes out this year, then you very well could still have a trade partner because the Raiders are going to be taking Mendoza. Raiders are definitely going to be taking Mendoza. So then you got Dante Moore, and it's, let's see who's willing to move up. Let's see. But either way, we got a chance to get better, but I would love to get all those picks. I really would. I really would love to just get all those extra picks. But yeah, there's still a shot. It's so sad that I knew we were going to win just like last year and every other year. Yeah, like I said, if anybody goes to my Twitter, you literally see my pinned tweet is every time the season is on the line, the Giants put up 30. Every time the franchise is on the line, the Giants put up 30, and they did. So nothing new here. We knew we were gonna score 30. I would love to get Downs. I would love to get Downs and Styles in here. That would be amazing. If we could trade out of 2 to 7, we probably miss out on Downs at that point, to be honest with you. But I would love for him to fall there because where did the Jets pick? Because I want the Jets to be in front of Washington. Because I think if we don't take Downs, that Washington is a big threat to take Downs. Fourth and 6 here from Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett under pressure. He's taking off. And it looks like he's going to pick this first down up. And now you got a flag down. So the Jets are 3-13. Perfect. So the Jets, and that's holding on the Raiders, so this will go back. But the Jets are 3-13. So that means that the worst, unless the Jets go out and win next week, which I don't think they will, the worst we'd have to do is go back and to 5? So the Raiders would have to lose. I mean, the Jets would have to lose next week, and they would be at the worst they could be at is 5. So I think here we go, 4th and 16, Kenny Pickett firing it short, and he's going to get tackled for a non-conversion. So, again, as long as the Jets don't win next week, the lowest we would have to trade down to from 2 is 5. So, we go down from 2 to 5. The Jets have Indianapolis's pick this year, and they have... Okay, so yeah, they have these 2 picks this year. So the Jets we would be left with and this depends on what Indianapolis does, because right now they have the 18th pick, and they're in a tiebreaker with a bunch of teams here. So they could be picking anywhere from 18 to 15. So if we move down from 2 to 3 or 4 or 5, we're going to probably get that pick that year. That pick this year. So we're going to be picking 4, 5, or 3. We're going to be picking 18th this year. And then we're going to get a pick next year. And then we're probably going to get their second round this year and a third round next year. Something crazy like that. To move back like 2 or 3 spots. So it's not as bad as it looks, but we got to lose next week. Got to lose next week. Like, we cannot afford to not lose next week. So I'm going to do as I always do. And I'm at 1%, so I might listen. My stream drops. I gotta plug up my computer. All right. So like I said, as always, I'm gonna do my post game, and then we'll see what's in the chat, and then we'll dip out. And it's just sad that this is just more of kind of disappointment, even though we just blew a team out. But here we go. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Another week, another kind of disappointment. But listen, the Giants won today. We blew a team out. We put up 30 points. I'm excited about that, but one, it was in kind of a boring way. I can't say that like I would have rather Jackson Dart had like a better game. And I wouldn't say he had a bad game today, but it was just kind of like, like he played, had the 2 rushing touchdowns, converted a couple of nice third downs. But I would have loved for him to have like 300-400 yards. And let me pull up the stats just in case I'm like tripping. But I would have loved for Dart to have 300-400 yards, 3-4 touchdowns. But, he had a 200-yard game, no interceptions, no touchdowns, but 2 rushing touchdowns and 48 rushing yards. So Jackson Dart is banging on the door of having a 10 rushing touchdown season. So he's doing a great job as far as getting in the end zone running wise. Shout out to Wan'Dale Robinson. Let me give him a round of applause here. Wan'Dale Robinson goes over 1,000 yards this year. Shout out to him. He's been here working hard for a while. He's been a good player who we've been saying I just didn't think he got the opportunities he deserved, besides a bunch of short dump-off passes. And we finally get to see this dude get down the field a little bit, work the intermediate area of the field. Give me 1 second. All right, we had some crazy stuff going on outside. All right, let's start that over. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. The Giants once again come out kind of disappointing people, but at the same time, it is what it is. Let's go through the stats. Jackson Dart. I would have loved Jackson Dart to pad the stats today, and just like have like 300-400 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns. But he had a 200-yard day. No touchdowns, no interceptions, but 2 rushing touchdowns and 48 yards. He's banging on the door. One more rushing touchdown gets him 10, which would be a nice total on rushing touchdowns for a rookie. Wan'Dale. Shout out to Wan'Dale Robinson. Round of applause to him for coming out here and putting up 1,000 yards this season. Today, 14 targets, 11 catches, 113 yards. We're going to have to make a big decision at the end of this season on if we're bringing him back. he was a guy that I thought did not really get much of an opportunity to make plays as a receiver. He was only a safety valve, and we basically just dumped the ball off to him for 5 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards. Didn't give him a chance to do much of anything. And look, this year he's catching the ball in stride. He's making guys miss. He's doing what he could have been doing for the last 4 years for us. And it's sad that, his contract is going to expire, and we got to figure out if we're going to bring him back. And we're just now, discovering if we want him to be, if we want him to be a playmaker for us. Let's see if anybody else did anything notable. Not really as far as receiving goes. Slayton had a couple of nice catches for first downs. Didn't drop anything today. So that's good. Tracy, 62 yards today rushing. Singletary, 45. Singletary had the touchdown. Singletary also had a nice catch and run on a screenplay. Or it might have been okay, so they gave him that 29-yarder. So Singletary actually had the it was on a pitch. We had a nice run, 29-yard run. This is kind of unorthodox, but shout out to Ben Sauls. He made a 32-yard field goal, a 40-yard extra point, and this dude is the best kicker we've had in a while. So shout out to him. If he's been here the whole season, the Giants would not be in competition for the first overall pick. We just wouldn't have been. We didn't get it done. We didn't lose the game. I know a lot of people wanted to tank this game away and secure that first overall pick. Listen, folks, it is possible for us to get the first overall pick. It's possible for us to get that first overall pick if the Chiefs lose to the Raiders next week, but we just injured Geno. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen because Kenny Pickett's going to have to do it. And then also, it's still possible for us to get the second overall pick if we don't win next week. But knowing the Giants, we'll probably find a way to win. If you go to my Twitter, there's a pinned tweet that says every time the Giants franchise is on the line, we put up 30. And that's exactly what we did. That's what we always do. Deontay Banks, happy for him because he brought back a kick for a touchdown. And he has been eating dirt. And I could say eating something else, but he's been eating dirt for the last couple of years because he's just not been playing well. But, I mean, at least the guy had this moment. And by the way, this guy has more touchdowns than Jalen Hyatt. And I can't remember who I saw tweeted that, but that's ridiculous. The guy has more touchdowns than Jalen Hyatt. And what a joke. Let's look at the sacks. Brian Burns, another 1.5 sacks. Puts him at 16.5 for the season. So he's got an outside shot at getting, 18 sacks, 19 sacks. But he's probably going to wrap up with like 17. So shout out to Brian Burns, Pro Bowler. Did his thing this year. Abdul Carter, another half a sack. So, he's kind of ramping it up a little bit as the season's going. And then Dex had a sack that got taken off the board because Abdul lined up off sides. And then we had Darius Alexander with a sack. So defense got after it. They really stopped the run today. Today we gave up 63 rushing yards, and we gave up like a 30-yard run to Genty on their last drive when we were playing prevent defense. So we really did not give up anything in the run game. And, of course, in the game we need to win. Or a game we need to lose to win the first overall pick. We come out there and shut down the run completely. Something we have not done the entire season. Marcus Bowe was out there at left tackle. He gave up some pressure at times. At times looked okay. I'm not sure if I want to move forward with this guy as one of our starting tackles. So, we're probably looking to bring him back, Jermaine Illuminor. Let me see if I'm missing anything. I want to see if I'm missing anything. Okereke had that interception that basically broke the game. Because once they got down the field and they were about to go up 7-0, or I think, it was at that point no one had any points. So as soon as they were about to go up 7-0 and then he throws that interception, that was it. Okereke caught that, brought it back 40 yards, and that broke the game. Geno threw 2 interceptions, one to Okereke, one to Dane Belton. Dane Belton almost took it back for a touchdown. Okereke, I mean, I want to look at these return yards. They usually show you. They won't show me. But the returns both were like 30 yards, 40 yards. So great job there. If Deonte Banks could ever catch an interception, this dude would be a dangerous returner because the dude, he accelerated bringing that ball out of not from the end zone, but from the 5. He like saw that gap and accelerated so quickly through that hole. So I mean, that dude, if he could be a good corner and catch some of these interceptions, he'd be like DRC on these interception returns. Javon Holland went out. I saw him on the ground holding his knee in pain, and then they said he had a head injury. So I hope he's okay there, but that was concerning that he was on the ground holding his knee, but maybe it's nothing. Other than that, again, if the Giants go out next week and lose, and the Chiefs beat the Raiders next week, they'll be at number 2. We'll be picking number 2. If they go out and win, who knows what'll happen if we go out and win. We could be picking oh man. The Giants could be picking at like 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. They could be picking somewhere around that, but they also could be picking at 3. You never know. But if they manage to lose next week, we're locked into the number 2 pick no matter what. And if the Raiders manage to beat the Chiefs, we'll get the number 1 pick. Now, Fernando Mendoza is coming out. He's coming out, and a lot of teams want him. He's 6'5", he's got all the attributes that people want out of a textbook pocket passer. But Dante Moore, we're still waiting to see, is he going to declare? Is he not? Because if Dante Moore does declare, then you got Mendoza at 1. The Raiders will probably take him, or maybe they like Dante Moore. You got one quarterback going there, and then we're going to be sitting at number 2, and there's going to be the Jets at number 3. They're at number 3 right now, but they could be picking as low as 5 if they don't win next week. You could be picking a lot of those places, but the Jets are going to be picking somewhere between 3 and 5, and if we move back those couple spots, we're going to get their number 1 pick this year, their number 1A pick or number 1B pick, which is their 18th overall pick right now from the Colts. And we'll probably get a 1 next year and probably a 2 or a 3 this year. So we're going to get a haul to move back maybe 1 spot because they're just going to be competing against the other teams that want to trade up. So we could possibly get a haul still. So don't fret, don't panic yet. But it would have been a lot easier to lock this pick in, but it is what it is. Do you honestly want your franchise quarterback to say he lost to this arbitrage? I'm saying arbitrage. This albatross of a team and the Raiders. Do you really want that on your franchise quarterback's record? I don't think so. So another week, another opportunity to get the number 1 pick or number 2. As long as we get that, I'm fine. But we beat the brakes off the Raiders, and I'm not surprised because they're the worst team in football. Oh man, and maybe I'm allergic to the number 2 pick or the number 1 pick because I'm out here. I didn't start coughing and stuff until I got on here. Appreciate that. I see the chat is pretty slow. And the Giants season has become a complete joke, so that chat has died off. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump out of here, get this video uploaded, and see you guys. I'm going to Senior Bowl, so you got the draft coverage coming, and you all stay tuned. Hopefully, this nightmare can end next year, but it probably won't. Probably be in the same spot next year. It just is what it is. We're the new Browns.